Do you feel like you've gotten what you hoped for plus?
Yes, I do. I think you're a good teacher, a good motivator.
I don't know if you remember, I was very skeptical. This was Paul's thing. He said, I've signed us up. I want to sign us up. And I was super skeptical because we've gone through Rich Dad training.
Couple training people.
And some other stuff.
Where they just basically give you a book and they say, we're going to be your teacher, now go do it, and we're done.
Yeah, very little of that hand holding that you need initially, of that person to person that you need. And when you're doing it, you're like, well, what about this? And like I said earlier, everybody learns differently. And so you need to have somebody to talk to, somebody who knows, because you can listen to my question. I can have the identical question as Paul, and he'll word it very differently than I would. But the answer is still the same. You can't get that when you have a question in material and nobody to talk to. So that was, but then, so he signed us up for this. And I don't know if you remember, I think I even told you, I'm skeptical. I was very about this. And it took me, I think in the first month, every phone call, you broke away some of the armor. And now I consider you a friend and as well as a mentor and a coach. So
good.
Yeah.
Good. So I've hit a nerve a little bit.
Yep.
Good. Do you feel like that and this is my own question, I've got a list of questions here on the screen that I'm asking, but this is my own question. Do you feel like that you are better than you were before when you started with us?
Yes.
As a person?
Oh, as a person.
Well, we were pretty good people before.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
We had most of our stuff figured out in many ways, except for making money in real estate.
Awesome.
So, but that's to say, then yes, then we are definitely better. Being coached by you because you took time and you went, like you said, your process of teaching us.
But are you a better person?
Yeah, it makes me a better person.
You are, because you grew.
Yeah, definitely.
I know you grew through this.
It's uncomfortable, isn't it?
Yes.
It is.
And scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, my coach pushes me regularly, constantly to be doing better and to live outside my comfort zone and what I'm, I don't like to use the word fear or afraid, but the reality is what I'm afraid to do. And you've had to do a lot of that. All right, so when you signed up, my favorite question to ask is, was it everything you expected?
Well, when we signed up, I wasn't sure what to expect. The one thing I was looking for was someone to hold our hand as we go through the process. I think wholesaling as a concept is pretty simple. But then once you get into the nitty-gritty of it, you realize how many details there are and what you do here and what you do there. Anyway, so I don't really think I had any kind of expectation other than for you to hold our hands through the whole process.
And do you think that you've gotten that?
Yes, we have.
Yes.
Do you think that this would be as, I don't like to use the word simple, but as easily implemented without your coach?
No.
You've got to have the coach, because everybody reads differently, everybody learns differently, and if we don't have somebody that we can list specific questions to.
And so in this market right here, there's no way we would have.
No.
I mean, we are planning on doing this year, just using people that we have followed through podcasts and just using their advice, and let's just throw out some mailings, right? But I think that would have gone not as well as as I thought it might, after we started with you and we started learning how to be more strategic in our mailings and things like that.
Specific wording and the colors and
the things like that are involved. So yeah, no, it was definitely good. This was good for us.
Yeah,
really
I like it.
Good. So in your opinion, how important are the leads to your success?
Very, very important. So the initial investment was great because we get in there and we have a year's worth of leads. And it seems to me the leads are the key part that you start with. I mean, without those, I mean, who do you talk to? Who are you going to have a conversation with about buying their property without leads? And so leads to me are the most important. And the more fine-tuned the leads are, researched, I guess, the less you spend on leads, the less you spend on the mailings. You kind of pinpoint the people you want to get to through your mailings, and the better success you'd have. And so yeah, leads are extraordinarily important to us.
Good. So when you guys signed up, do you believe that we've given you the tools to succeed with that training and the website that we've given you? Like I said, everything's at your fingertips from the beginning. Do you feel like that there's anything that you wish there was more of or less of, or?
I like it. I'm trying to think if there's anything more of that we would have wanted or looked for. And there always is, but I can't think of it right now.
I don't use it.
I use it for refreshing. For a refresher course on certain things. And then I also use it then for our leads, particularly. And I tend to go back to it from time to time. But at first, I mean, we're on it all the time.
At first, I was on it all the time.
Of course, it's important. But once you start to learn some of those steps, you don't need to go back to them, except to maybe, what was that again? And let's go back and take a look.
When the market changes, when the style changes, when the tactics change, we change.
Okay.
That's the important part of the training and why we've put it on there, so that we can adjust it and tweak it. And why I do a lot of stuff from right here at my desk or out in the field is because I want it fresh. I want you to be able to see what's going on every day. On your first call, how confident were you after doing the step 3 training with me? How confident were you on that first call?
In terms of this is going to work, or in terms of I know what I'm doing? In terms of
I'm going to talk to this motivated seller about this about this property I just got a phone call on.
Oh, that first phone call.
First phone. Okay.
Okay. That one is tough. I'm not confident with these calls because I feel I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to people who already own properties and probably know a lingo better than I do. But I figured out, and I think through your help, to just be friends with them or just talk to them in a you don't have to know everything. This is what we do.
In dealing with the motivated sellers as time has gone on, it's gotten easier. In fact, probably more enjoyable, hasn't it?
It is. Once again, I feel like I'm an apprentice learning, and I know that I'm going to get better and better at it. And I'm looking forward to having this be more of a second nature thing for me, because I do it so much. Right now, I'm still in the beginning stages, but it has definitely gotten easier. That is for sure.
Good.
It's easy to talk to people on the phone now. It's easy to pick up and just, hey, how you doing? And what do you got? So,
Understanding where they are is the trick. You know, I don't know if you've heard me say it, but seek first to understand, then to be understood. So understanding where they're coming from is a position that you'll be able to build more rapport and get in a better position to be able to work with them. Because then it's a little easier for them to understand where you're coming from instead of going into it aggressively, so to speak. You need to understand where I'm coming from.
Right.
And it doesn't work that way.
Right. And that's kind of like, that is my method.
That
anyway.
is you.
I just go in there and I just let them talk. I ask questions about them, and I ask questions, how, all that stuff. So that is who I am. That's what I do. So it does work.
Good. Yeah. Good. I want to make sure that I'm doing my job. So it's important to me to know what you think and different things that I can do or have done that is beneficial. Now, we talked about it in the beginning a little bit, but I've always been there for you. I've always pushed you guys pretty hard, telling you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Do you feel like you've gotten what you hoped for plus?
Yes, I do. I think you're a good teacher, a good motivator. My expectation coming into this was that you were going to feed us all the information we needed to start getting people to call us in terms of our mailing. And your expectation, I think what happened is, what your thought is, I don't want to feed you all this stuff just off the bat. I want you to learn how to do it yourself. And so I had to put my head around that one. And I understand that that's by far the best way to go, because ultimately this is going to be our business for the rest of our working days. And so it's better to learn and do it. So I had to jump into your process and abandon my drive-through fast food process and learn more and more. And so
my philosophy is to teach you not to need me. I think that if I teach you to always need me, I'm not doing what you signed up for.
Right.
So I do that by pushing you to learn it and to fill in the gaps. That's my goal, my direction, the way that I see our relationship. We give you a lot. The reason that we have the videos and the materials on the website is to load you full of information. And I'm sure in the beginning, and correct me if I'm wrong, it was rather intimidating.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. And it's true. That's what I was expecting. This is different, and I prefer this. Most definitely.